GM? GM guys.
GM.
Happy Monday. Have you guys recovered from your conference partying? Was there a lot of partying?
Honestly, I'm still like disoriented.
Yeah.
I went to the gym today and I could only do like 4 exercises, and I was like, fuck, my head hurts.
Damn.
I've been skipping gym for 1 week as well.
Was
Yeah.
the conference was like fully outside of the city, right? So you guys had to like commute every day?
Yeah, it wasn't so bad though. It was like only 25 minutes away from King's Cross, which is like the main train station.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Hold on, I need to re-log in 1 second.
You're good.
And we had like one train every 20 minutes, so even if you miss a train, you can just wait 20 minutes and get the next one.
Not
But
too
the
shabby.
venue was very cool, very cool.
Yeah. I was a little jealous. I haven't been to London in a decade almost. And I was like, this could have been a good opportunity, but I was stuck watching the dog because
Yeah,
my girlfriend was out of town. But anyways, shall we start charting?
Yep, let's get into it. Sorry, I just switched internet browsers, so I'm trying to get this working. Right, hopefully this works.
I just seen a news about Trump Media Group planning to raise $3 billion to buy Bitcoin and crypto. But I don't know what the Trump Media Group is.
The root rate.
Okay, can you see my screen? Yes, you can,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
All right, so we skipped last week's streams. Now we're back at it. Let's get into it. So last week on Monday, I flipped bullish, and we went from 102K all the way up to 112K. So I caught this entire move here, which is great. And then I basically closed all my longs on Thursday night just because I think it was Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, but one of those days because I just was going to go out, couldn't be bothered. And actually, it turned out to be the right thing because we had a little bit of dump back down to 106.6, and then now we pumped back up again. So I shared this previously in Discord. We're still bullish. Like, we've been respecting this parallel channel for a long time since basically since 76K. And in these scenarios, like, it's easy to be like, oh, we're overextended, but honestly, trend is friend. Unless we start to see weakness, which we don't see it yet, there's no reason to believe that we won't go higher. So right now, this channel is just basically telling us where to go. And the next stop seems like it'll probably be about 115/116K. So I'm currently flat. I'm not long right now. I did mark out this green box. I was actually waiting for this daily level of 105.5, but it did front run it, so I didn't manage to catch this long. If you are sidelined like me, the question now is, what do you do, right? So, in bullish environments like this, I like to use the EMAs, the 4-hour EMAs. So I have four of them marked out. Sorry, a lot of stuff going on. If I do that. Yeah, so the blue one is the 13 EMA, the green one is a 50 EMA, and the orange one is the 100, and the red one's 200. So what I like to do, right, is in these bullish environments is to basically buy back at around the green and the orange. So in between the 50 and 100. So anytime like you see price overextend above the blue line, so the 13 EMA, usually it means that it'll probably, come back down again, which is what happened here. Around here, I said, okay, you know what? It's getting extended. Be careful. Make sure you take some profits and then buy back down around the green and orange, which is what happened. So that's still the case for me. I'm still just going to wait for around, anywhere between 107 to 106K before buying back in. So yeah, well, other than that, we also have now, let's see. So other than the daily level of 105.5, we also printed a weekly NPOC at 107.5. So really, I'm looking at probably at this level here before getting long. And I'll still just be playing the trend line. So I'll be like longing here and then basically long it to here, right? Question now is like how high do we go? It's hard to say really, like, this is what I hate about breaking all-time highs. Like there's no real levels you can play with. You kind of just have to play with like the momentum here. If we come to order flow, so one thing that scares me the most is like ever since we moved so this bit here from this move here, right? From 102K all the way up to now, we moved up in terms of open interest, a lot of open interest. So that's about, yeah, exactly almost 7 billion of open interest just from this move from 102K to 112K. Open interest alone isn't a bearish sign. It's basically like volume. It's like a proxy indicator to see how much interest there is in long in this market. So that's like a good thing. The question is like, you do start to wonder how much fuel bulls have left if they want to push higher. So at the moment, it's like not a bearish indicator, but if price starts to stall around, the highs here, then I would start to get worried. And it could start to give you signs like, oh, maybe we're going to get a significant pullback. Maybe this might be the top. Who knows? I think it's still too early to tell, however. Coming over here to order flow side of things. So previously I said that the first time we hit 112K, we had a lot of people trying to short the market. And I was telling people like, don't short, because the first time we hit 112K, like everyone here, maybe it's not so obvious. Maybe I switch it to 4-hour. Yeah, so we had like, this is the 4-hour candle. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see. We can see here on the move up, you have like open interest is blue, which means it's like there's open interest increasing. And then the delta is red, which means that there's like aggressive shorts happening here and here as well. So I was telling people like definitely whatever you do not short the market, which is what people end up doing. And then they got down to 106K and they started shorting more and then end up squeezing them. Right now, however, we are seeing less shorting and actually more longing. So I do think that things look good, but it does make me more worried that, previously the sentiment was like, let's short the market. Now people are starting to believe that we are, going for even higher alt season, all that kind of stuff. Um, we're not euphoric yet, but it's definitely starting to show like signs of people getting a little bit too confident about the fact that, we'll never get a pullback. So I do think the play right now is, in general to, stay bullish, obviously, like trend is friend. But I will be playing it small. Like I'm not trying to play for a home run here. I'll just be playing for like these small moves up. I do think that with alts, there's probably more room to play with just because some of these alts have been like, they've been hammered to death, right? You look at AVAX, for example, like it's still at $23. And like Bitcoin's already made new highs, right? So there's no reason why we can't not hit like at least $50 over the next few weeks. And that's it for me.
Do you have any experience with the weekend traps, like people saying that you shouldn't trust a weekend move? Because I mean, we're starting to see a move up everywhere across the board right now, but this is a big
Yeah.
holiday in the States, so it's almost like this is just an extension of the weekend, at least for the US markets.
Yeah. So the weekend stuff is like what, you can't say it's a trap. It's like weekend liquidity is just less, right? So if people wanted to move price in a certain direction over the weekend, it's just easier because there's less bids and asks. It doesn't mean it's necessarily a trap. Sometimes it is. I wouldn't like look too much into it. It's the same as well, like when after hours, after the New York session closes, sometimes you get these moves like, Trump announces something and suddenly like prices rebound like crazy. It's also the same thing over there as well, but it's not necessarily meaning that, every overnight move is a trap, right? I just think that, most often there are traps that happen over the weekends, but it's not always the case.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I also think like a lot of the stuff with, that mega whale on Hyperliquid, James Wynn, a lot of people are just psyching themselves out right now with that guy. He was like long and then he went short and now he's long again. So now, like, if you're thinking, okay, I'm long, but now I'm the same side as James Wynn, like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And honestly, I think it's just a lot of psyops, not psyops in the terms of like him psyopsing people, but you will just end up playing 4D chess with yourself if you're thinking too much about that stuff.
Yeah, I think honestly, right now, leverage. I mean, this is always kind of the case, but you have a pretty good chance of getting chopped out on leverage. But if you're in spot on for Bitcoin, I don't know if there's like that much room to run. Like I don't know if you're trying to get just a few percent, you could bid Bitcoin spot, but I think your alts are probably where more room to run is at this point.
I mean, it's also good to know, like, keep in mind that we are coming to the end of the month. And, I find that end of months can, like, the last few days of the month, they usually can be a little bit bearish. So I would be looking, like, this week, I think we might get a pump, but I'll be looking to secure profits quickly before the month concludes. So I'm thinking like something like this, like that, and then coming back down. Maybe we start the first month of June down. We start to get a proper pullback, and then maybe the trend resumes
Yeah.
after that.
You want to pull up some alt charts? I think we should look at maybe Solana, ETH, XRP, some of the big ones.
Yeah, so Solana, like I think most charts look very similar to Solana. Um, you have this trend here, right, from the lows of April, and it hit the high of 184.5, and it tried to break past it, but hasn't made a clean break above it. So it looks like a double top, and I think AVAX is the same as well. Ethereum as well, double top, double top. So all these like alts have a very, very similar structure. I think Hype is the only one that didn't do that, right? But most of them have this kind of double top structure, maybe less so this one. Um,
This
yeah,
does
I
kind of look
mean,
like a
it's
inverse head and
easy.
shoulders, which I don't really like playing too much with those like type of chart patterns, but that is very clearly what it
Yeah,
looks like right now.
I mean, it's easy to look at this structure and be like, oh, double top, like that's so bearish, it's gonna go back down again. And I can easily see people start shorting this, but honestly, like all these alts, they follow Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's gonna keep on going up, that's what most of these alts will do as well. And if we look at some of the order flow on these alts, I think most of them are being shorted or people are just taking profit. However, even like look at that, right? The blue line is perp CVD. You have people take it like open interest keeps on going up, but people keep on shorting it. So that means that like there's a CVD bullish divergence. So there's like prices going up like that, but CVD is going down, which means that there's limit bids absorbing this price. So I think people might get into the trap here and be like, oh, double top, I'm going to short this. And maybe they get like a small dump and be like, wow, like it's finally going down. But then I would not be surprised if they get squeezed out and it moves up higher again. So, I think right now, like, do not push the short button on anything. I just don't see any weakness anywhere. And yeah, I mean, if you're sideline, like, don't start aping now. Just wait for a better level to get long on. For Solana, for example, like, even getting long at this level of 167 could be a good long because right now there's like a lot of people just trying to short Solana, and price is just not going down, right? So that means that people like whales and market makers are absorbing these prices, and it's most likely going to go up, in the future.
We are starting to see a little bit of a. I mean, it's short term, but the pump from the last few hours is starting to reach this everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, today it's like nothing's really happened, right? It's Memorial Day. Markets are closed. Like I expect some of this to retrace. Honestly, I think tomorrow, probably morning, we'll start to see some proper like action. Keep in mind as well, like I think we also have a bunch of stuff on the macro calendar. So this week is important. We have FOMC minutes on Wednesday, and we also have some stuff on Thursday, but we also have PC on Friday. So honestly, I think there's going to be a lot of volatility this week. I don't know what to predict for the FOMC stuff. I think in general, like there's nothing to be super concerned about in terms of inflation. The question is like how I think right now we're priced in for a July cut. So, unless we get like an earlier indication of something happening before then I don't expect markets to suddenly, overreact to anything. I think it'll just be like something that we expect, really.
Yeah, nothing burger.
Yeah. But other than that, I think today is pretty boring day. Order books are pretty thin as well. You can see here, like there's nothing until like 114K. There's also a lot of air beneath us as well. I mean, right now, I just think that the best thing to do is, don't be shorting anything. I love shorting stuff. Trust me, do not short stuff right now. And just wait for 107.5 or 105.5 to long, and just play it all the way up to like 115, 116K.
Yeah, makes sense. Trying to check my charts and see if there's anything that looks interesting. I think with a lot of alts right now, your Sunday low from yesterday is probably a good invalidation. Like, I think that was the attempted breakdown for a lot of these, and most of these did not break down, and they bounced up a little bit. So, like, if you're trying to grow some or build some spot positions on some of your favorite alts, I think if you want to be tight with your invalidation, I would say Sunday's low is probably a good spot. If you want to give yourself more room, Wednesday's low from last week or Monday low, depending on the chart. But that's kind of
Yeah, if you look at a lot of these meme coins, right? Like it's not, for example, this pump here, um, is not exactly making a new high, but it's not breaking down either. So I feel like a lot of people, just judging from the order flow, like I'm pretty sure if we go to order flow for PopCap, for example, you can probably see people just trying to short this. Yeah, I mean the CBDs is going down all the time. Um, I feel like people are probably still eager to short alts, and I just don't think it's ready to like go short on anything yet. Saying that though, how much pump do we have left? I personally think that we probably have like this week or a couple days more before we start to pull back significantly. That's not to say that we have topped, but definitely we should start to get a pullback because we haven't had one um since forever, basically,
we've
right?
had 7 weeks of green on Bitcoin. So
Yeah, which is pretty insane.
you might get max probably 2 more weeks, and then I think it would be quite overextended if we didn't get a pullback by then.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at total market cap, like I marked out this daily level here at 3.5 and another one 3.47. Like I think probably what happens is we get one last push like that, and then we start to get a pullback. I don't know how far we'll pull back. Like it could be a shallow pullback or it could be a deeper pullback, but for sure it'll be like, something like at least a 236 or at least a 382 pullback, in my opinion. This is the kind of time when you still want to be bullish, but not super bullish. Like I would be taking longs with the intention of scalping it and taking profits quickly.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be full porting anything right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like my analysis for the week.
Oh, you guys seen hype?
Hype is
It
hype
did a
is
massive
insane. What the
hype, yeah.
fuck?
I've swapped some when AVAX was like 25 and hype was 23. And when I compare
Yeah.
the price, it's just crazy now.
I mean, it just had the most insane week ever, right? It went from 27 to like 20, $40. Um, I don't know why has it gone up so much. I think is it driven by that guy, James
I think
Wynn?
I saw that their TVLs almost like doubled in the last 3 weeks. So I
Well, they had like 1 billion, like a 1 billion OI
yeah,
position, right?
it was
Yeah,
like 1.2 billion.
and they are buying back their own coin with the profit made on the protocol with the fees.
Yeah, but they've always done
Yeah,
that. Like nothing has changed recently, has it?
I think the same, yeah.
I was thinking about shorting it
I just
today.
think it's the runner
Um,
of this like last few months.
I mean, I personally think it's a little bit over.
Hyped.
I think it's overhyped. I mean, like everyone's just super hyped about it right now, like you can just tell the timeline is a bit euphoric. Everyone's like, I think I saw something like $700 hype. But let's be real, like it's still a perp dex. Yes, it has hyper EVM, but there isn't exactly a lot of apps going on the chain. So for the most part, like hype is still just mainly a perp dex. And don't get me wrong, it's an amazing perp dex. But I just don't think that it justifies like what's the current market cap right now?
12 billion, I think. Or that's the FTV.
Yeah, it's like 38 billion. That's crazy. That's like more than, it's 13th, okay? It's more than Chainlink, more than Sui, more than AVAX. Like, yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit overhyped right now.
I trimmed a little bit of my position that I have at these levels. It's just
I was actually looking to short it, but um I just don't feel comfortable right now. Like the thing with shorting things that have just gone to price discovery is that, you know, shit just can go way more parabolic and insane than you can stay solvent.
you got to follow your own advice, Fish. No touching the short button this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hype is going to do well. It's like obviously caught the mind share of everyone. But yeah, I would not be longing this, me personally. Any other coins
Um,
that I should look at?
we could take a look at Curve. I feel like their token's done well recently.
So many lines drawn from long time ago. Let's see. So Curve, yeah, Curve looks good. I mean, I really hate this pattern though, like this kind of weird pattern it's showing.
Yeah, the double tops all over the place are definitely a bit concerning. Like I think structure
Yeah,
and trend look good on a lot of tokens, but you're definitely in a tough spot. I think you probably want to bid close to the trend line so you can invalidate quickly.
Like I would be bidding around here. Then you bid there, it's like you're not exactly, if you bid here, for example, at 0.67, you go long here, have invalidation before beneath this low. How high are you going, right? You obviously want to hit this range here, but given that the previous high could barely even make a new high, like I'm not super optimistic that the next one has enough juice to go even higher. But I mean, like, it's obviously looking bullish. It's just uptrend, higher, 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 high. Yeah, I guess you just keep on playing that trend until proven otherwise.
You want to pull up Sui? I feel like this chart looks like it has a little bit of air under it that it could fall.
Yeah, this chart looks kind of scary. Like I wouldn't mind if there's like CVD bullish divergences when it hits this level of 3.32. I would definitely bid it, and I would be bidding it to aim for like 5. Definitely takes them out on the first level, which is like 4.1. But if you lose that level, then this gap here, I'd expect it to at least partially fill a bunch of this gap, maybe even fully. So yeah, there's like this gap here, and the problem when you have these gaps, right, is that they usually get filled over time. Like not necessarily, but usually they will get touched, right? So it does look scary, but I think for now, like it's actually approaching a level where I would be interested in longing. So it's not like end of the world yet, by any means.
All right, I think that's good. I don't know if I have any other interesting ones to take a look at right now.
Ethereum,
Yeah, we should probably look at ETH, I guess. I also saw.
yeah, ETH looks like the same. So like, I feel like most coins just basically look like ETH, where you have this double top pattern. Honestly, I think right now, like, I would not. I say this for basically every coin except hype, right? Don't get don't get spooked out by this double top pattern. Like, I would just treat this thing as a range, basically. Like that's your range. And right now it's just gonna keep on oscillating between range high, range low until one side gets too aggressive, and then probably the other side gets squeezed. So if we looked um, on order flow, for example, yeah, it just looks like the blue line and the red line. That's Bybit and Binance CBD for perps, and it just looks like, well, the OI is kind of up and down everywhere, but the CBD is showing that people are either closing their longs or they're aggressively shorting this range, and um, and the price is just not moving, is not breaking down. It's actually going slightly up whilst the CBD is going down, right? And that's usually a sign of bullish divergences. So it means that like people are market shorting or market selling, and there's just limit bids absorbing the price. So that's actually bullish. Like I would be more inclined to long this than to short it. I feel like this is a story for most of these alts. Like most people, they probably sold this double top, started to be like, oh man, it's gonna break down, it's fucked, I'm gonna start shorting. They keep shorting, 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 but the price is not breaking down. And probably like sometime, I don't know, maybe today or later today or tomorrow, we finally get a breakout to the upside. Will I be longing at this price right now, though? Probably not. I mean, we have some good levels here. Like if I see some more divergences around low 2500s, then I'll probably take a long, to be honest. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you open that long,
Other than that, I feel like, yeah, I feel like most of these alts are actually not looking too bad, even though people are seeing this structure like this double top and being very spooked out by it.
if you open the long, you gotta drop the call in Discord for us.
Yeah, for sure. I always do. I'm very transparent about all my calls. Like even if I'm wrong, I will say I'm
Yeah,
wrong, you know?
which is good. I think the discussion in the Discord's been quite good recently. Like we got more and more people sharing what they're doing, and it's actually been interesting because we'll have some
Yeah,
people kind of counter trading each other. Someone's gonna come out on
yeah.
top.
I mean, it's good because like it makes you reflect as well. Like I remember before last week, I was bearish, right? I was bearish for like 2 weeks. And then, like when you're just like always publicly posting and you're wrong, you start to think like, am I just being stubborn or is it time to like think differently, you know? And it's good that you have other people there who are just like also posting different ideas because then you start to think maybe I'm overthinking things, maybe I'm missing something. Um, but yeah, definitely like recommend people post publicly. Like that's how you get better.
Yeah, 100%. All right, should we hop on into trenches?
Yeah, let's go for it. I'll stop sharing.
All righty. I need to log in. Stop sharing for a second. Have you guys, I mean, I know all you guys were busy at conferences. Have you guys found anything interesting in the trenches recently?
It seems like a
Not
lot of the old runners are coming back. Trenches haven't been too lively.
What names come top of mind for runners?
Probably Popcat. I know that was like one of the most traded ones the other day. Had like a decent run up from where it kind of collapsed before. But it looks like it's not doing too well.
Yeah. I mean, this is, if you had sold in the depths of despair, like I did, of course, that's kind of this is probably where I ended up selling, like 30 cents. It's actually not that far off here, but yeah, we had a lot, many months of down only on this, and then it has been, I mean, same as a lot of these other alts. It's been pretty much since, I think this was a few days after Liberation Day or something, or like maybe it was when he paused it or something. It's moved up 400%, 4x at the top. Now it's at 275. You are starting to get, let me go to 4 hour. You are starting to get, lower high on the bounce. So, similar thing. So it's either, maybe we get a lot of these shorts getting squeezed after like a false move down, or this could be, momentum starting to slow down a little bit. But yeah, Popcat definitely one of the bigger ones I've seen recently. I mean, this is on my watch list here, but Cat probably one of the strongest coins out there over the last couple months at all-time highs. Nasta Definitely one of the Ket believers.
Yeah, I've
Even
seen that chart. It's crazy how we went from like 100 million to 560 right now.
it came down from 500 to
How much of your port is Ket, Master?
How much what?
How much of your portfolio is Ket right now?
15 to 20%, I think, of the
Okay.
portfolio is cat still. So it's still a lot, but it was a good bet to keep holding it, even if we hit like 3 times like 100 million in the downtrends.
I mean, this
Right
chart
now,
is
it's a bit
crazy.
hard to know where this chart is going. It doesn't be only been up for like weeks now.
I mean, this chart is actually pretty similar to hype. I feel like you had the initial huge run up, came down for a while, and now it's smashing all time high. So this
I'm
one,
wondering what will be like the impact of a listing on Kraken for a coin like that, or even for Joe.
I don't know if listings have that much sway anymore. To be honest, like I'm not expecting like a pump on listing or anything, but who knows? We'll see. I could be wrong on that.
When we got listed on Binance, honestly, it had no effect whatsoever. And that was like 3 years ago. So I don't know. I think it depends on like the current mood, right? I think recently we had Peanut got listed on Coinbase a couple months ago, and it went from like 20 million to 2 billion. So I don't know. I think it's like very case dependent.
Yeah, there was that short period of time where people or where coins were getting listed within like a day and they were like gig ascending out of nowhere. But I feel like that moment in the market is kind of past at this point. I have heard that virtuals has been like killing it recently. I mean, not only their chart, but I think they like completely revamped their mechanisms for deploying agents. Um, some of our Discord guys are into it, and they could explain this far better than I could. But basically, as far as I understand, there's like a new point mechanism. So like I don't know if you lock virtual or something to get points, and then you spend your points or something like that to get access to some of these like pre-launches. Um, but you're refunded if it doesn't hit the mark. Um, and if it does hit the mark, it gets launched at like a 10x FDV of what your pre-sale is. And so it's like almost like a no risk thing. And I think a lot of people aped back into the ecosystem because of it, which is quite the comeback. Honestly, I did not expect virtuals or AI agents in general to kind of have a moment again, but they're having one. Oh yeah, they also had some integration with Kaido, and I think Kaido has also been doing pretty well recently. There's definitely been pockets of like light in the market in a lot of these different sectors. Like you've had like I guess you could call Hype and Sui for like the L1s, although Hype is probably more DApp than L1, but that's been popping off virtuals for AI agents and stuff. Definitely seeing some little pockets pop off. I also have seen a lot of BNB things on a lot of BNB tokens trending recently.
Always hear about Abstract and Sofon and Kaito and I feel like all these InfoFi stuff, like cookies
Yeah,
fun,
Cookie.
and what's the latest one these days? People talking about Stay Loud, Stay Loudio, something like that.
Haven't. Let me see. Haven't heard of that. Stay
Loud IO or Stay Loudio. It's not out yet, but people can keep on talking about it.
So this is built on top of Kaido.
Yeah. I feel like we've gone to the point where, like, everyone, honestly, I feel like everyone on CT is like a paid yapper these
Yeah,
days.
they kind of are. Let me see if I look up the tag. There's not a lot here for. Okay, this is big brain stuff. Don't know. Don't want to read all that. Damn. 3-3 mechanic applied to attention economics. I don't know. I have no idea what this is, but they definitely have some KOLs involved. I know Cookie.fun introduced their YAP system of sorts as well. Snaps. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I actually signed up for Cookie.fun like an hour ago, and honestly, it's confusing. Like, obviously, people are using it now because I think they're thinking there's going to be an airdrop.
Isn't Cookie already?
Don't
they already have a token out?
Oh, maybe they do. I don't know. But yeah, it's just super confusing. At least Kaito is like pretty easy to navigate. You just go to it and you know what rank you are. Yeah, I've never really understood, like, I mean, I get it. People make money from this. I just don't have the time to dedicate to like yapping about specific things and trying to farm this
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
Most of the time when I yap is just for like just because I have a lot of stuff in my head that I want to talk about.
it was nice with Kaido, like at least initially. Now I think they've shifted a lot more towards individual ecosystems, kind of. But initially it was just like you could just tweet about whatever, and if you were getting engagement, so like for you, like that's like the perfect type of thing. But once it becomes very focused on stuff, it's a lot harder to keep up with it.
Yeah. Like, apparently I'm 264, but I actually don't care like how many yaps I've earned and how many smart followers and stuff I have.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted though. When it first launched, I was having a good time trying to yap. Do you guys know any of these Koge W key DAO? I mean, that's 6 month old. Some stuff going on BNB.
What's going on in what is it? ICM? Is that still a thing? Internet
I
capital
think I had
markets?
what was the thing? What was their thing called? Launch
Launchcoin.
Launchcoin.
Screener. Believe screener. I mean, that's Launchcoin's still at 220 million. I mean, it looks like a bunch of stuff pumped today for some reason.
It's still doing pretty well.
No, I mean, that's really good. I actually tried to short Launchcoin I made a little bit of money, but I got out quick because it kept moving like 20% against me. This is the, oh wait, sorry, I forgot to switch tabs. This is the launch coin chart. I mean, it's actually not bad. I mean, you'd want to see this break that that downtrend before it breaks down. But I mean, for it to be at 200 million still is pretty good, to be honest. But I mean, all these seem to be pumping right now, all these other ones, but I think I would imagine that a lot of the hype, like you move down pretty quickly into the sub 5 million. Like there's only a few that are higher up. But it is kind of cool. A lot of these apps, like a lot of these tweets are like connected to actual things. Not all of them, but like Dupe is a site that lets you buy stuff for cheaper, basically. I think they were a TikTok thing as well. But then, yeah, I think
Yeah, the launch coin chart actually looks pretty good.
yeah, it's holding up pretty well, honestly. But I mean, you can already kind of see the deterioration of sorts that like when they first launched this, the whole point is that it's supposed to be, you know, actual things that are getting built. And then you look at their second highest market cap thing and it's just a meme coin, a startup that does nothing.
Yeah. I feel like the general like market participant is just so cynical these days.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can make them believe. Just call it meme coin,
Yeah.
right?
I would agree. There's not really
Yeah.
much that you can do that they're gonna like. I do miss it, honestly, like the 2021 days where people were like,
Actually
yeah,
believe in stuff, yeah. Like people were actually optimistic. I feel like everyone's like, fuck building, you know, it's like all attention economy, just like meme coin it, whatever.
that really is what it is a lot of times. I wonder what this is. This one is at 16 million. I mean, that looks like a crime chart if I've ever seen one, but it's a wait. Is it a Memorial Day thing? I wish I could filter out all of these like fake posts. Okay, I've seen like 7 different explanations on that one, so not sure about
Seems
that.
sus.
Yeah.
What's going on in Arena right now? Is that still
Now
Nothing
fun?
stuff.
much, I would say. Heidi has been running a bit. Like
Which one?
yeah,
Integrity
Integrity
DAO?
DAO. But talking about new coins,
Oh shit, 17.4.
yeah, but talking about new coins, I haven't really seen any new runners for a long time now. It's mainly the OG one that is still running and going up. But for the others, they are just pumping and dying after a few hours.
I think
Oh, Blub. I think Blub's doing well, right?
Yeah,
Blub is like coming
Blab
back.
has been doing an amazing job during Summit. So many people have started buying back Blab because of what Alf did. He's been distributing a lot of merch and I've been very bullish.
To be honest, I think one coin that I think will surprise people is Cock. Like I was at the summit and Cock is doing a lot of stuff. Like they're not a meme coin anymore. They're doing like sports betting. They have their own chain. They're doing like documentaries now. Like they're actually doing a lot of stuff right now, which is pretty cool.
It's a nice move up, 300% on Blub. Let me pull up Cock. Got it sitting at 57 million. A lot of these ones are actually like decent for trading. Like I know there's some people who make bank pretty much just like day trading AVAX coins. It's not bad. Flywheel.
Just buzzword meme coins.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the virtuals work? I'm trying to read about it right now.
Let me see if I can find. Okay, so Lazy Chart Guy, he's pretty active in the LJ Discord, and he shared this. So you stack Virgin points. You join oversubscribed.
How do you get Virgin points? You have to stake
I think
virtuals,
so.
right? And start yapping about virtuals,
Yeah.
I think.
And then you join oversubscribed launches, stake,
Yeah.
and swap. I don't know what you're staking. And then you earn like 20x. I think because they're oversubscribed though, like you're limited in how much size you can get in, but I mean they're like automatic wins basically. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder what is the bit about calling it virgin points? I don't know.
So I think what happens is like if you have Virgin points, then you get to like participate in some of the early launches, I think.
Looks like I wonder if points are different from. I'm just looking on Twitter. I see that there's a virgin chart. So I don't know if it's an actual tradable thing or.
So you pledge points to get a presale allocation, and then you commit the virtuals that you use to buy the tokens, and then you claim your tokens. So basically, like it's an ICO launchpad, right? Token launchpad, but you have to earn Virgin points, which you earn by staking virtuals and also yapping about virtuals. So you have to stake virtuals, yap about virtuals, earn Virgin points, and then use those Virgin points to then pledge into pre-sales that you think will do well. The issue is like it's still very much dependent on how well these AI agents do, right?
Yeah. I will say, I mean, it is a cool mechanism, but 1.4 billion seems like a high price
Yeah,
point
it's
for
quite a lot.
virtuals.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're still just participating in AI agents, which honestly is not super bullish at all.
It is crazy to me that we like all of crypto Twitter got psyoped into thinking that they were bullish for 3 weeks or something. That was also a very short-lived. Yeah,
Meta, yeah, big time.
I think it was not only short-lived, but it crashed down so hard that I think a lot of people got
Well, I think right
convinced.
now it's like if you go on Twitter, right, and you look at Virgin and virtuals, everyone's yapping about it, but they're all yapping about it because they wanna get allocations to these AI agents.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as any
And
pre-sale meta.
then I think that makes the price of virtuals go up. But like, who's actually buying the tokens of the AI agents that are participating in these launches?
I don't know. Someone, hopefully.
This is either like a genius idea or just a massive psyops. So this guy's saying he pulled a 65x from one launch alone.
Yeah, but I think the size is limited. So like you might get a 65x, but it is, pretty limited on how much you actually put in. Alrighty. I think I'm good to wrap it up here if you guys are. My dog is scratching at the door, so I need to go let her out.
Yep, let's wrap it up, guys. Nothing much else to talk
All right.
about. I think today's pretty muted. Otherwise, stay bullish. And see you guys next
See
time.
you guys later this week.
See you guys
Peace
next
out.
week.
Let's fucking Joe.
Bye.